I also have to remember not to do this because I have a giant noggin to begin with, and I don't want to lean too far into the camera.
I've not noticed it once.
No,
It's
yeah, perfect.
it's very large and very shiny right now. I need someone to do my makeup before these things.
Well, season 2.
Yeah.
Season two, the budget's bigger.
We're actually going to shoot at QVC in the.
Ooh, I like that idea.
I don't hate pitching it to them.
I don't want to say anything about hot chocolate, but I think we might be able to.
Right?
Maybe we cut
They
that.
did make a Christmas movie. So we could just do a Christmas cookbook and there you go.
Wait,
There
QVC made a Christmas movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know about this?
Did we talk about this? Remind me, because I forget.
They made a Christmas movie. It's called Hot Chocolate. Is that the name of it?
Holly and the hot chocolate.
There
So
it
cool.
is. It's a movie. I didn't watch it. It's only 60 minutes long. Um, so I don't count that as a full movie. That's just an episode of television.
Yeah,
Right.
Um,
That's not a movie.
like CSI. So,
oh, I mean, listen, John McKeever's a very funny writer. It might be good. I do not know. I do know that QVC made a Christmas movie, and so that therefore they may give you any money you want.
Hmm. Was it like is it like a pop-up video where it as the movie's playing, if you can buy something on QVC, see in the scene, it would like pop up?
so
Because I
you
would watch the shit out of that if that happened.
that would be very smart on their end. They did so they made an app, like a streaming app, and this was the first thing on it, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case. So I think
I
you have
don't know.
to pay to watch it. Yeah.
Oh
I did
boy.
not know that part of it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I'm pretty sure that's what the article said. I can fact check right now, but I guarantee.
Fact checking in the moment. Our decision desk, Aubrey. We have not called Arizona yet. Aubrey's checking. I would, but that's kind of scary if that's the way things are going. Like if you're watching a movie on your phone and there's something in the scene you want to buy, you can just like tap on the thing and it'll add it to your Amazon wish list or something.
I've actually been shocked that that's not part of Prime yet.
Did I just send that into the universe and now it's
No, I think
happened?
many
It's
people
my
have said
fault.
that. Like, I
Okay.
genuinely have thought about this, like, while watching something on Amazon Prime. Like, oh, that's a cool coffee maker.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. So this is called QVC Plus, and it says Movie Mall on QVC Plus. Holly and the Hot Chocolate, watch and shop on QVC Plus. So
Oh
I don't
boy.
know if they did it, but it's according to the internet, they could have.
Oh boy. What have we become? You know who we should bring into this conversation? Our guest for the evening, because I'm sure she has something to say about this. If you want to know who's joining us tonight for this horrible concoction we're about to ingest, a little bit about her. She's a collaborator, a facilitator, an improviser, a director, a coach, an instructor. She does it all, really. There's nothing she hasn't done. Also a co-founder and co-producer of the Tax-Free Comedy Festival in Delaware. Very, very, very good comedy festival. She can talk about that as well. And the managing director at City Theater Company in Wilmington, Delaware. So on top of everything else, she runs a whole theater and she's quite amazing. Old friend of ours, old friend of the show. Jana Savini's here. Welcome, Jana Savini.
Thank you. So that's a no for me on the Christmas movies. My stomach was already turning at this recipe, and then now we started to talk about Christmas movies, and I can't do it, guys. Like this might be the end of the
Because
episode.
it's August.
Yeah, we'll change the subject.
I have like a visceral reaction to anything that is Christmas related.
Really?
Even in December. It's just not my thing.
What is it? The smells? Is it the sounds?
It's mostly the music.
Ah, there it is.
It's mostly the music. Movies are a close second.
Okay.
It's because of stored trauma, guys, right? Like I used to work over the holidays, so while everyone was like running errands and being cheerful and like getting to-do lists done, I was working in an industry where I was helping you get your things done, but I wasn't getting my own done. And like working on Christmas sucks.
Yeah.
So I like the first year I didn't work there, I was like, wait, is this what you guys do? You just eat and put your feet up and there's gifts?
Is this what normies do? I worked in a movie theater for a long time, and that was the worst because only people who don't want to hang out with their families see movies on holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, it was all like miserable people who just wanted to get out of the house for a little while.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I worked at the zoo in Philadelphia. So the only folks who are coming then who are people who are sick of entertaining their families in their homes and thought a trip out in the freezing Philadelphia December will fix this.
Mm-hmm.
And spoiler, it did not.
There
I will
any-
not be tuning in to QVC's Broken Christmas or whatever it's called. I can't
So
do it.
close. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's it. You got it. Were there ever any animals that refused to celebrate the holidays? Like,
not intentionally, but unintentionally once, yes, the otters threw a full out revolt. So this is what had happened is these were a family of giant river otters. It was a breeding family, very experienced mom and dad. They knew what they were doing, but like any good parent, when it's time to eat, leave me alone. So when the pups were old enough that like they could sort of fend for themselves, like they were not nursing all the time. Like we weren't worried about them getting like crushed. So when we would feed them though, we needed to give mom and dad their time and some older siblings. So we would go in, throw food everywhere, open the doors to their corners, close the doors, no big deal. Give them some time, chill out, go clean up some other stuff, deliver Christmas cheer to the other animals, come back, reunite the family. See you tomorrow. So this was Christmas Eve, and I walked in and I pulled the very first cable to open the doors to let them all go to their food, and the cable snapped. Now all of the doors there for safety reasons were on like a click pull system. Like it wasn't just a straight like guillotine door. You had to sort of click it, and then there was a pin that came and held the doors into place. So that whole mechanism failed with the doors open. So they had free access to each other and all of the food. And the only like maintenance person that was on was one of our plumbers, who was just this crazy character of a human who was already very loud. And so I called for him to come, but you know, he's like chest deep in a pipe underground somewhere doing his daily maintenance. So I had to stand there holding the two ends of the cables while the otters just screamed and screamed in my face because they're so excited. It's like a buffet and they've got their mouths full of food and fish, or like fish guts are going all over me. And I'm just standing there on a milk crate holding these two cables, just questioning every choice that I made that led me to that moment.
Oh my God.
That is actually what Holly and the Hot Chocolate is about.
Actually.
In that case, I'm in. In that case, I'm in.
that is the script word for word.
So you
Yeah.
said you delivered holiday cheer. Did you actually have like something that you gave to the animals on Christmas, or?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Because they didn't know, but this is actually really a sweet story. So because the animals know that, because they don't know what day it is. We don't anthropomorphize them like that. We don't know. We made big deals for their birthdays, but that was for us, really not for them. But every year on the holidays, on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, the days that we were closed to the public, but we all still had to be there, there was this mean old crusty curmudgeon who used to work down in African Plains, and his name was Chuck. And Chuck hated everyone, especially women. Chuck was an old timer. He didn't think we belonged there. It was a whole thing. But once you kind of earned his trust, he was the most loyal, would literally step in front of a lion for you, right? So he was just mean. All you're always criticizing, calling you out on the radio so everybody could hear that, you know, you left the bleach 2 inches away from where it's supposed to go. But on the holidays, he would bake carrot cakes and bring them in and just leave them. No note, no nothing. And there was a whole crew that came in the morning and he made one for them. And then me and a smaller crew came in the afternoon and did the whole zoo. And he would bring in a special one just for us to make sure that we got some. And it was the best carrot cake. It was also like the best carrot cake. It wasn't just like a nice gesture.
Oh my God, that's like Scrooge. He like came around, you know?
He was. Yes, he was. Yep.
Oh,
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I love
It was
that.
good carrot cake. Because if it was bad carrot cake,
I would have expected bad carrot cake. I expected it to be
Oh.
terrible, or like half defrosted frozen cake that he bought like at the store, which is fine, not knocking it. But this, and he made it. It wasn't like his mom made it or a family member. Yeah. And then when you would try to thank him for it in like the week, like the next week, he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, whatever. And go right back into yelling at you for another year. It was awesome.
It's like a Home Alone thing. Like there's always that one old guy who's like the curmudgeon and everybody thinks he's evil, but then it turns out by the end, making carrot cakes for everybody.
Yeah.
could have been
Yep.
biased in that carrot cake, just like in Home Alone, but
Shannon, are you a carrot cake fan?
I just don't understand why you would put a vegetable in a cake. I just don't. I'm sure it's good. It's my mom's favorite cake. I don't want to knock people who like it. You know, everyone likes their thing. I don't understand the concept of who first was like, you know what this cake needs? Vegetables. Like, who was the first one to think that that was a great idea?
A bunny rabbit?
I was gonna say the Easter Bunny. That sounds
Right.
like some Easter Bunny
I mean-
BS, right? Yeah.
He likes chocolate, Jenna,
Stop
and
making
jelly
carrot cake.
beans.
Fair.
He's not a masochist. Like, he understands the joy of sugar being sugar.
There, you're
I'm
not
just
wrong.
saying. I'm just saying.
Fair.
But again, like what you like. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just have questions.
I bet it's that duck that comes on in the Cadbury commercials that's wearing the bunny ears that wants you
Yes.
to think that it's a bunny. That's some duck BS right
Oh
there.
yeah, that might be him.
That's what
Trying to
that is.
decoy
Yeah.
in duck fashion. Yeah. Blame it on the Easter Bunny.
Do you
I-
guys like carrot? Are you and
I do.
I do.
okay, great.
Yeah.
It's also my dad's favorite cake, like of all time. So
It's a
The
nice
parent thing.
surprise for me. Like I don't seek out carrot cake, but when there is carrot cake and I eat it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is pleasant. But I'm not gonna, seek it out. Like I wake up and like I need carrot cake today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
yeah,
That's-
in moderation, it's good. And like the cream cheese icing, like if it's a solid cream cheese icing, that like really elevates the carrot cake.
Cream cheese icing can hide a lot of cake trauma. Yeah.
Vegetables, right? That's because
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's just like celery and ranch dressing. The carrot cake is just a vehicle for the cream cheese
Right.
frosting. That's really what that's about.
And
Yeah.
it's like very similar to a spice cake, right? Almost.
Yes,
Anyways.
I think so. Yeah.
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 What's the boundary, like putting vegetables in a cake? When does it become not a cake anymore, but like a tart or like a croissant or something? Like when does it change over into the next phase of its Pokemon evolution, into the next thing?
Think
Like
it's
when it
gotta be
becomes like a bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because banana bread is cake. Like I love banana bread because it's just like cake that pretends it's something a little bit better. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like
Pumpkin
what's
bread.
the
But like
line?
I've had like chocolate cake that has zucchini in it that you can't tell.
Oh.
So for me, the line is, I think it's onions. Like that's when it becomes a tart.
Yeah, when you put like a real.
Cause yeah, then it's like a, what are those called? I can't think of the word, but yeah, like a,
Like, yeah, I can't think of it either. It's not a cake, but it's got a
No.
lot of vegetables in it.
Savory bread or like a no, I don't know.
I don't think of
Like
it.
a loaf.
Like
Oh.
yeah, maybe it's not a quiche, although we've had this discussion.
Ooh, I'm a sucker for a good quiche.
You love a quiche.
Oh man. Not, or a frittata. Oh, yeah. Anything with eggs.
Yeah.
Man.
Except for mystery corn pudding. That's the one.
No, yeah, that was the one thing that broke me.
That was not a quiche, but trying to be.
Wasn't terrible, but still, I would not recommend or do it again.
Yeah, mine was terrible, but that's on me, and I take full responsibility. Yeah.
I just wish it was fluffier. Mine was flat.
Yeah, I think it's the water in the corn, the cream corn. That was the thing. It like messed it up.
Yeah.
This makes me sad to hear because I love corn pudding. I love it. There's a Mexican restaurant just outside of Dover that anytime I'm in town for a meeting, I try and stop there, and they do their version of corn pudding, and it's why I go. Like, I pack a lunch. I don't need to stop there. And I'm also like not gonna get a margarita and stuff when I have a whole, like hour to drive home, but I will go just for the corn pudding. It's that good. So
What makes it good?
I have no idea. I don't know. It's very bready.
Ooh, okay.
It's like mostly bread, but there's whole kernels of corn in it. There's no cream corn. It's also like baked, like comes out in like a little tart dish.
So not cake.
So
Not a cake. Not a cake.
But with vegetables in it. So
What makes it a pudding, though?
I think that's some British thing.
Okay.
I think
Right.
so.
Yeah, that's another thing, that pudding, I think, is like the pudding you get in the little cups. It's pudding.
Yeah,
right.
But there's pudding that's like, that's bread, buddy.
Yeah.
I did not take it back. I don't want it. I want pudding.
Right. The whole if you don't eat your meat, you don't get your pudding thing. I think he
Right.
means that pudding, not
Yeah.
like Jello pudding.
Yeah.
Speaking of confusing abominations, do we want to dig into our recipe tonight?
I don't know that any of us do, but let's get to it. Tonight we're making a Keene soup. Fun fact, not named after a book or a character, but named after the author herself, Carolyn Keene. This soup is made with 1 cup of milk, 4 level tablespoons of peanut butter, 1/4 teaspoon celery salt or cinnamon, which one would you choose? And then topped with paprika and a dollop of whipped cream.
Oh, I didn't have any of those too. So it's just naked soup for me.
There are no wrong answers here except for this soup in general.
It smells so bad.
My whipped cream melted, and I think I put in too much paprika.
I'm gonna add mine now as like a garnish.
Oh,
That's a color I didn't
Did
expect.
it help?
Do you know what that was like? Did you ever do the science experiment with whole milk, like 2%, 1% in skim milk, and you drop Dawn dish soap on it and it dances across the milk, like the higher fat content? That just happened.
Oh no. Are we gonna be okay?
I don't know.
I'm gonna take my first. I'm gonna drink this.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little spoonful.
That's not.
Oh my god. That is not good. That is not good.
Wow.
Did you mention that this is warm?
Yeah.
It's not.
So the instructions did say to bring it to a boil and then immediately take it off the heat. I bailed before that because mine started to smoke.
Oh, what? Okay. So mine wouldn't fully boil, but it felt hot enough. But now it's lukewarm, and I think that's worse. Yes, this is a soup, so it is not a cold soup. This is a hot soup, so you have to boil milk and peanut butter. Yeah,
and that's partially my bad, because I thought this was cold, so I was picturing like peanut butter milk, or like what you would make and add protein powder to make a protein shake, and this is so bad. I'm so sorry.
No, that's the joy of it. I think trauma bonding is just as strong as
Is anyone using full dairy milk for this? Is anyone doing that?
No, we were a lactate house, so I don't know if the regular milk would have made it better, but I'm just gonna push that off to the side and forget I did that.
I can't do it.
I used a whole milk. I'll do one more sip for solidarity, but this is probably the thing that might kill us, so we're going out with a bang,
Yeah, I mean, I think if we flash froze that and like made it into ice cream,
I
don't think so.
No.
I used the Fairlife skim. No, Fairlife 1%, because we're a Fairlife house, and that's as close to the sun as I'll fly with dairy milk. It's like the ultra pasteurized, no lactose milk.
Okay. I use 2% because I'm a glutton and hate myself.
what are you using, like sweetened peanut butter or not? Because I'm using unsweetened, like just the peanuts and salt kind you get from Costco.
I think that's the kind I used, like the regular store brand, creamy. Yeah.
Creamy, yeah.
Okay. I used a Skippy, so sweetened, I imagine. Yeah. Which makes it even worse with celery salt. It's very confusing, the taste, because there's also paprika in there.
I was gonna, I said before we started recording, like what psychopath would put celery salt in this? And then I was like, oh, it's Aubrey. That's great. We have one.
Yes, I am the reason we're doing this, because I own the cookbook. So any crazy thing, any crazy variation, I feel like I have to do. You guys are great friends and never said I had to do it, but internally I've committed to this bit, which is backfires every time. So
yeah,
my peanut butter has started to settle out. It's like a sludge
yeah.
at the bottom.
Yeah, mine wasn't. I was like whisking it and it was still like peanut butter chunks, and it's like granular in here, and you can see, I don't want to tip it because I don't want to ruin my computer, but you can see like little granular chunks around.
Yeah, mine's grainy.
Yeah.
I think this bowl, I may have to just put this bowl outside and
throw this away. Yeah. I'm really sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
This is the thing about this cookbook. We want people to pick the crazy ones, not because we want to eat them, but it makes for good, exciting content, you know?
Oh, boy.
We want...
Again, though, what child is making this? Like, I thought while I was making it, I was like, wow, this is really easy. This is ingredients like I would have used as a kid. Like, sure, great. If this turns out good, this is it. And I was wrong. So wrong.
Where is the line? Because this soup? No. What would make it soup? Onions? If we put onions in it?
Yeah, there's so many things that are called things that aren't those things. Like there's this double jinx salad that was I don't want to mention it because it's the next episode. And then there's another salad that is just frozen juice, like fruit juice in muffin cups with like no stick or anything. So like all of the names are very misleading. Corn pudding was just cream corn mixed with eggs, so not corn pudding at all. You would have hated it.
Yeah, I don't know what, like like Jana said, this is something that kids would be like, oh, I'm going to be a chef today. I'm going to put peanut butter and milk and heat it up, and now I made soup. Like, I get it, but this is terrible.
You know what this is? This is what you make when you're trying to like make your friends drink something gross. Yeah. Like, did you guys ever do that and just pour like a little bit of like ketchup and like soy sauce and whatever into a cup and then like make whoever lost the game drink it? That's what this is.
That's what most of this cookbook is, I feel, because like that's what
I know.
I mean, 50% of the things we've made feel like they are that.
It's so bad.
Yeah, this is not great. Shannon, I also noticed that you aren't eating this. What's going on?
Thank you so much for asking. This segment is called Shannon is the worst cook of all time. Now, I could tell you that I shouldn't be around boiling hot liquids or pouring them into cups. However, I am very grateful that this bit is a thing that we've done all season because I wasn't about to make that. I don't care if I could lift a hot liquid. It does not matter. That would not have come near my mouth. That's what she said. Also gross. So this segment today does not have a recipe that I have failed. I just didn't want to do it.
Are you eating anything instead or just
ice cream?
Much better choice.
Much better choice.
Much better.
This is not even close.
Like I wanted to at least do, it just said it's a rich soup, so small quantities are advised, but I don't think that I even made it to small quantities. I gave up.
Oh no.
No. And it's not a lot. So like if you split it up amongst your friends, I'm putting that in air quotes because if you had friends, you would not make this for them. but it would be like little like shot glasses full of soup. Maybe this is meant to be just like that, like you just shoot it and then it's
Yeah.
over.
Maybe.
No, nope.
Nope. Okay.
That would still be too much. I think I took like 3, I'm calling them sips, but they were like probably 1 sip combined. Like it was too much flavor profile in there.
I feel like if you put this into shot glasses, it would be like, do you remember cement mixers? Did you ever do those?
Oh yes.
Like in college or later? No shade. So I don't remember what the alcohol was, but it was like a little shot glass of milk, and then you would pour alcohol in it, and the goal was to drink it before it curdled. But you never ever got it all the way down before that happened. That's what I feel like this would be like if you just put a little shot. Well, I would never make this for you guys because I consider you friends, and I would never do this to you.
Thank you.
Same.
Except for this one time.
We all kind of made all of us do it though. So Shan's the only smart one in this.
Listen, I chose that bit at the beginning of this thing. It is true. I actually am a terrible cook, but this one worked out in my favor.
Yeah. I think a lot of them worked out in your favor if I'm being
I
honest.
would agree.
All right. Should we move on to the world famous Cookbook Obscura questionnaire?
Yes.
All right, Jana. Question 1. What is your favorite family recipe or dish your family always made?
Okay, so my favorite family recipe is pizzelles. And I know how I just went on that whole tirade about why I hate Christmas. I present exhibit A. Here's why. So when I was a kid, both sets of grandparents made pizzelles. If you don't know what they are, they look like snowflakes kind of cookies, like super thin waffles, like Stroop waffles without the caramel, that kind of a thing. And so instead of making chocolate chips or sugar cookies or whatever normal people do, we made towers and towers and towers and towers of pizzelles. So this was like, you would go to visit people's houses, they would give you theirs, you would swap, they would come to your house, you'd put out a tray. Okay. So like I would walk into my grandfather's basement and it was just like a cave. They just grew. They were so tall, just like stacked on like card tables all around the room. And he made them. They were so good. They were really thin and they were really crispy and everybody loved his. So he passed away before I was able to get his recipe. So meanwhile, my other sets of grandparents also made pizzelles, and it was not a hidden secret that theirs were not as good. They were thicker. They were kind of like not quite done all the way. So maybe they were a little squishy. That would make your tummy kind of hurt a little bit after you ate them. Okay. So, but I was like, Mom, write down this recipe so that I have it for when I need it. So she passes. It's the first year and I go to make them. Well, I'm a little nervous. I'm not a cook, a little bit of a baker, but also like, it's kind of emotional. This is like the first year without her, all the things. So I'm making this recipe. And for some reason, I completely screwed up the butter conversion because she measured it in margarine and it said like, it was like 1.5 tubs of margarine or whatever it was. And I'm like, well, nope, that's never happening. How much butter is that? And I messed it up. So they came out thin and so crispy, like they crack. If you drop them on the counter too hard, they just shatter. So everybody went crazy for them. And then because I like pain, meanwhile working through the holidays, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to make different flavors? So at one time I made 8 different flavors. I made anise, which honestly is the only kind. If you're making other kinds, go home. Vanilla, chocolate mint. I used to make lemon, orange almond, cinnamon sugar, pumpkin, like all kinds of flavors. So I have since dialed that back. I do 4 flavors now, and I don't give out as many as I used to. I probably give out 1/3 as many as I used to, and I make 44 dozen every year. It takes about 2 days. I have 2 irons. My husband just leaves because he knows better. It's just not a good time. So yeah, that's my I guess that's my favorite.
That's a nice one. I have fond memories of pizzelles too. And I agree, there's only that one anise flavor to make. Like any other flavor, just it's not a pizzelle anymore.
Yeah.
It's cheating.
It's cheating. Yeah.
It's for tourists. Go home.
They don't want you here. Go home.
Go home.
All right. What food would you never tell someone you eat?
Okay, so I'm like not embarrassed by any food I eat. I'll tell you anything I eat, but sort of a I'm ashamed and I feel like I should be doing better food is this house consumes a lot of chock full of nuts coffee. You know, just like the rat poison. I mean, I'm sorry, chock full of nuts, if you're listening. I love your product.
Just lost a sponsor.
Please support the show. But it's my husband and I drink so much coffee, and it's like you can get a can like this big at Costco for like $8. And it just makes sense. So I drink nicer coffee in the afternoon, but like those morning medicinal cups, chocolate nuts all the way.
No shame in that. You got to get your fix somehow. And if that's what works, yeah, nobody's watching. Nobody knows.
Watching. Thank you.
You're not an influencer.
No.
You're not posting it
No,
all over.
I'm definitely not. No.
Drink your chock full of nuts.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel very supported and seen right now.
Absolutely. What is your best food memory? Doesn't have to be family, just in general.
My best food memory actually is, I'm sorry, involves peanut butter. And I don't even know if I want to tell the story right now. Because my stomach is so angry about what just happened. So I'm just gonna push my soup a little further away from me to get it out of my smell. But so my favorite food memory is not a food that I ate, it's a food that I fed out. So I used to work at the zoo, like I said before. And this was the very first day that I met the polar bears. So by the time that you got to work with big, dangerous animals like the bears, you'd seen some stuff. You were not new, you were old, you were seasoned, you had proven yourself. Things had happened to you along the way if you made it there, and that was no different for me. So I walk in there, probably a little too overconfident in myself, and not many people worked with the bears. So they had their crew. They didn't really care about anybody else, whatever. So when somebody new was in their space, it was full-on stranger danger. So they have now noticed that there's a new person there, and I'm not just like doing some maintenance or like fixing something, like I'm staying, and they're in their feelings about it. So this bear, Klondike was her name, was in full-on abominable snowman Yeti mode, just like up high, hands up, like smacking on her door. Because we would bring them in the morning for breakfast while we cleaned the yard and reset everything and for the day. So the keeper who I'm training with had worked with them for a long, long time. And she says, oh, it looks like somebody just realized there's a new person here. Here, go make friends. And she hands me a jar of peanut butter and a spoon, like a teaspoon. And I was like, I just watched this bear go ham on like 20 pounds of trout and ground meat. Like 5 pounds of ground meat. What am I going to do with peanut butter? Like, are you serious? I thought this was some kind of like hazing test, like prove my nerve in front of these bears, which, okay, weird, but fine. It's not a thing that you did. So I walk over like, okay, I guess this is what I have to do. And Klondike smelled the peanut butter and immediately sat down just like she was a lab and like opened her tongue and put her tongue out like right up to the little window on the door so that I could feed her. And then we were best friends for another like decade.
God, that's so
Oh, I love
so
that.
they would get a scoop of peanut butter every morning, or when we had to do something they didn't necessarily like get a shot, or have like a veterinarian kind of get in and like play with their hair or something like that. So they knew the peanut butter was like special.
Oh,
it's amazing.
I hope I just redeemed peanut butter for us because I do love it, and right now I'm mad at it.
You did. Yes.
I just imagine you feeding the polar bear this soup that we made, and then it just
Absolutely
destroying
not.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'd climb right out.
That would, yeah, there's no way that's not how that ends.
No, they were very, very spoiled little princesses when it came to food. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep the celery salt out of it. Okay. If you could cook with a famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
My famous person is Will Rogers, which is a weird choice, I think. So, Will Rogers, American comedian from like the 1920s. Okay, so when I was in the like elementary school, we had to do a report on any historical figure from American history, and I grew up right here, just outside Philadelphia, so everybody's picking Ben Franklin, George Washington, like all the usual suspects. And I thought for some reason I want to write a paper about Will Rogers. And my teachers were like, weird choice, but technically correct. So I have always sort of saved onto this paper, and I don't know what made me pick him. And I just sort of kept it over the years. I still have it. So years go by. I meet my now husband, and he just casually drops in conversation once that Will Rogers is his great, great, great uncle.
What?
His mom, my mother-in-law's great grandmother, was Will Rogers' sister. So I just a couple weeks ago got to visit Will's birthplace and his grave for a wreath laying to commemorate. We were there for the anniversary of his death, and because I'm family now, we actually got to go into the crypt and see Will's grave along with his wife. And I met a lot of cousins, and I have so many questions because we all know like Will Rogers Follies, like the roping thing, the Cherokee Kid, like all that. But he traveled the world in like the 1910s, 1920s. He died in a plane crash in Alaska, but he went all over the globe. How? In such a short time? Because he wasn't very old when he died. Like he was just on a ship for like most of his life and flying in like small airplanes around. He was like the most famous person in the world at one point. So I've got a lot of questions. I also really want to talk to his wife, Betty, because like she was home during all this with the kids. Like I really want to know.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild. That's so cool. What a full circle, like fate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Universe knew.
I guess. Or I just also found like weirdness in my partner. So that's good, I guess.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
Sure.
Was he related to Roy Rogers?
No. Great
Okay.
question. But
Thank
no.
you.
Different family.
Got it.
Different family.
How about Kenny Rogers? Are they?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be cool if they were? You know what? I'm going to look into this and do some family history. This was like, the turn of the century. The country wasn't that big then, right? How many
Right.
Rogers families were there?
Right.
Wait a second. Last one. How about Fred Rogers?
I hope so. Oh my gosh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Fingers
I really
crossed.
hope so.
That would be double full circle.
That would be amazing if I found out that my husband was related to Mr. Rogers. Come on. I don't think he is.
You know what?
But I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know.
Please do a whole follow-up episode on that family tree.
Yeah, we cannot look it up and just believe that it's true.
Right. Nobody Google this.
Let me have this, please.
After what you just had to eat. We owe you more than that, Jeff. We owe you anything you want.
Okay, if someone you love was in prison, what food would you hide a device to get them out?
This is easy. This is easy. Tomato pie.
So
do you know, like the bread and the sauce, no cheese, maybe a little like sprinkled, but not like, because so in my family, and really just the whole area where I grew up, tomato pie is like currency, right? Did somebody die? Bring tomato pie. Is it your birthday? Tomato pie. Soccer game and it's your turn to bring snack? Tomato pie. Tuesday and mom doesn't feel like cooking? Tomato pie. So no one will suspect it. It's just always around. And then I'm imagining you would just like double dare the sauce like in that big like messy bin to get to the file that I would have put in like a Ziploc bag. Not that I thought this through that much. But yes, tomato pie all the way. Probably Marchianos, because to me they're the sauciest of the pies.
Okay.
But
I think you're the first guest that ever like protected the tool in a bag or something. I think everybody
Smarter.
else just shoved it in there.
I watched a lot of Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Also, listen, it's cowboy times that we live in right now, right? You've got to be prepared for anything.
That's true.
I appreciate that.
So if
100%.
I'm ever the one who's incarcerated and one of you brings a tomato pie, wink, wink, I got you.
WWWRD. What would Will Rogers do? Right.
Yeah.
This is some Will
This,
Rogers
right.
stuff right here, for sure. Based on some of the stories I heard, yep, this tracks.
Track. Nice. Wow.
I think we're almost at the end. I don't want us to be, because this flew by. This literally flew by.
I'm glad, because that whole part where we did the eating of the soup, really, really dragged.
Yeah.
It
That felt like
was-
3 hours.
Those were the longest 3 minutes I've had.
I tasted it.
ever.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
If people want to know more about what you do down in Delaware, you
Yes.
have so many wonderful things happening. Tell everybody a little bit about it and where they can see more of you and what you do.
Yes. So please get yourselves to City Theater Company. We are located inside the Delaware Contemporary, which, yes, is an art museum, but there is a black box theater inside. There's free parking, and it is literally under 995. You can't, there's no side streets, there's no side quests. It's very easy to get to. We have a monthly improv show with Fearless Improv. And guys, the reason why I'm still at City Theater Company is because of this cast. They are the best of all worlds. And I'm starting my 10th season there, which blows my mind. I feel like I just got there, but I only stayed this long because of them. They are amazing. They do it the right way. They continue to grow, change, trust, and it's just a magical show. That is mostly every Saturday. The tax-free, the last Saturday of the month, not every Saturday. The Tax-Free Comedy Festival is coming up this year, October 20th and 21st. And then City Theater Company is opening its 30th season. Again, mind-blowing. I don't know what little nonprofit theater company has the nerve to think they're going to last 30 years and then does it. They are opening our season soon. I don't know that the season announcement's been made official yet. I'm sure by the time this comes out, it will be. So you can find all of that and more information and tickets at www.city-theater.com.
Nice.
Excellent. We will put all that in the show notes as well, so everybody has it. What's the difference between theater RE and theater ER?
Pretentiousness.
I'd
Yeah.
say
That's-
I didn't want to say it.
Good enough. Good enough for me. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Aubrey and or Shannon?
No, this was so enjoyable, except for those 3 sips. This was so nice to be back with a little full Friday circle.
Yeah, this was that was gross. This was wonderful. That was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a microcosm for life. We can do hard things if we do them together. So thank you for bringing me along on whatever this was.
Well, this is also our last episode for season 1. So what a way to go out with a bang, Jana.
Wow.
The final.
Okay. That's
The
so
final.
gross. I'm so sorry. I was
No.
gonna cheers, but I can't do it.
No,
No, I wouldn't
don't.
do any more of that. We're not
Yeah.
paying you. If we had a stipend,
Even then,
if I hit the Powerball tonight, I will reimburse you, compensate you for this mess.
But only if I win the Powerball.
Only if I win the Powerball.
I'll take those odds. I'll take those odds.
Great.
Oh my God. No. All right. Well, yes, this is our last episode for this season. No matter what happens next season, what cookbook we do, what monstrous recipes we find, we'll always have the Nancy Drew cookbook.
We will. And hey, if
yeah.
we were revisit it. There's still a bunch of batshit crazy stuff in here. We haven't even touched.
Yeah, there's a lot to get through. My therapist is very busy. Thanks everybody for a great season. Thank you, Jana, for closing this one out for us. And no matter what happens, always remember to eat responsibly. Thanks everybody, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Good night.